One of the questions I get asked a lot is, what is the best children's Bible out there? And I'm not going to tell you because I know what I like, but what is right for your kid is completely up to you. You're the expert in your own child. You're going to know the factors that go into making the best Bible for your child. But what I do want to give you is a few considerations for you to think through so that you can pick the best Bible for your kid at this specific time, because in 2 years they may be so over that one and are ready for a new one. But for this moment and this time, what are some considerations? One, good theology. Weirdly, that is not a given with children's Bibles. And so you really need to look it through. The amount of times I've picked up a Bible and been like, it's a kid's Bible, it should be fine. And I sort of go off with it and haven't read it through. And then I give it to a kid and I'm looking over his shoulder and I think, that is not 100% what I was hoping it would say. So flip through it and check. There is one Bible that would leave off stories almost halfway through. And so God came across in the Bible as a really angry God and a real punishing God. All the pictures of God were, with big, angry eyebrows. And there wouldn't be any redemption whatsoever in the Bible. It was just angry God all the time doing stuff. He likes killing people, haha. And I didn't realize that until my son was flipping through it and I looked at it and thought, no, that is not the Bible I want in his hands. So check for good theology. There's not, perfect theology, but there is theology that you agree with that goes along with what you're happy for your kid to be reading behind your back and provides that firm foundation. Because when you're looking at a storybook Bible, it's someone's interpretation of it. The other thing that you should look through is, do the pictures communicate your heart? We all have this bugaboo of what we like in Bibles. And it's actually really useful to think through what you want your kid to be looking at, because this is the illustrations of their scriptural memory. I still remember, I wonder if I can find it. I still remember the storybook Bible. It was just this one story of the Nativity, and I remember what the baby Jesus looked like, and that for my lifetime has been what the Nativity looks like in my head. So what pictures are important to you to communicate? So for instance, this Bible I love because it's the See With Me Bible, and I love the way they do the angels. I love that the angels aren't these like floofy, weak looking sort of angels, but they're like real and gritty. And I found that really important, that when the Bible says the angels minister to you, he thinks of this. But this one also has, Jesus looking like he came from Wisconsin. So I was like, okay, so I like this one, but I thought I need to add something else. So I love Jesus Storybook Bible because of the way that it pictures the people. And so I love the images of the individuals and sort of the ethnic sort of diversity within the angels as well as within the people. I love that. And there are so many different Bibles that when you look, the illustrations actually communicate something to our children. And so when you look at it, one, look, is it good theology that you like and agree with? Two, are the pictures representative of your heart for your children? Are there women in it as well as men? Do they only tell the stories of the men and not the women? Whatever your values are, make sure your values are there so that it can facilitate conversations with your kids, both visually and within the words. And the last thing, does the storytelling make sense for where they are? Sometimes the Bibles shoot really high and our kids are just trying to get the basics of the story, and the Bible has lots of teaching in it, and you're like, I just need something that tells my kid the simple story. Other stories weave in some wonderful teaching into it that you think that's what my kid needs next. Not just the story, but some teaching around it. And if you want that, then you can look through and see that. For instance, the Read With Me Bible just has the basic story, where the Jesus Storybook Bible has some great teaching that is woven in. And they're both good. It just depends on what your kid needs. So as you're looking for Bibles, think through what's best for you in your family in this moment, in this time. Is it good theology that you agree with? Do the illustrations represent what your heart is that you want to communicate to your kids? Is the spread of stories what you want for your child? And does it teach? Does it not teach? Is the language right so that at this moment in your kid's brain, that's exactly what your kid needs?